Thank you, Rhonda, and welcome back, everyone, to the National Indigenous Virtual Tech Conference, ready for the afternoon. I hope you enjoyed that time visiting each other and our virtual booths. Now we want to welcome our next speakers, Drs. Saeed and Chief Dennis Meeches, to talk about technology and partnerships accomplishments within our network.
Bonjour, totem enanek, zungwa beginu dijnikas, benasi totem, kanishkutiak duinju. Hi, my name is Dennis Meeches. I'm the chief of the Long Plain First Nation, a signatory to Treaty 1, and our anniversaries this year, 150th anniversary on August the 3rd. We have 3 reserves, of course, our homeland, Long Plain. We have the Kishkimakwa Reserve, and we have in Portage la Prairie, and we have the Madison Reserve in the city of Winnipeg. We're also working in partnership with the Treaty 1 Nation, the 7 reserves that are part of Treaty 1 Nation, the development of what was formerly known as Kapiong Barracks, now known as Nawe Otana, which means center of things, center of the heart. We're very pleased to be here with Meeches Networks and presenting what we believe is a very exciting project for the Long Plain First Nation. We have a shared vision of connecting our people with reliable, high-speed internet. For quite some time, of course, Long Plain people have been asking, for a better system, I guess, and there's a lot of complaints about the current system that's in play. So we actually looked at this quite some time ago, actually years ago. We ventured into a Wi-Fi network, and it didn't fare too well because technology is so advanced, it moved along fairly quick. So years later, we're fortunate enough to begin looking at this again. And we had a project management team, Dale Shirt, Terry Marn, Stephen Woods, working for Long Plain, to look at the possibility of a joint venture. And lo and behold, they found a company called Meeches Networks. And after vetting this company out, we found that this would be a great fit for Long Plain, and the technology. What can I say about that? It's absolutely exciting to know that there's technology out there that exists that could actually provide a great opportunity for Long Plain First Nation. And we moved in a joint venture relationship with Meeches Networks. The company is called Arrowhead Internet Services, powered by Meeches Networks. And, the Long Plain people, with all the installations that have been done to date, give it high marks. It's absolutely, the speed is absolutely unbelievable. People are very, very pleased with what we've been able to deliver to them. This includes not only, of course, it's a business, but it's employing people, the installations, and it'll be, for Long Plain First Nation, a long-term revenue stream. We've engaged in a lot of different partnerships and joint ventures. So this will actually, by being able to deliver this into Long Plain, it'll increase, education output, it'll increase connectivity, and create employment, and create a solid revenue stream for the Long Plain First Nation. And this is 51% owned by our company, Arrowhead Development Corporation. So people are quite excited with the prospect of a new technology, the first of its kind here in the province of Manitoba. And I have to say, being able to present today, a few weeks ago, we had some news by the province that they've, I guess, working with a competitor, and we're a little bit, wondering what's happening with this, because obviously Indigenous governments, companies have been working to to wire their communities up with fiber optic and a better broadband service for communities, especially remote communities. So again, we're not sure where this will go for a lot of the First Nations, but for Long Plain, we're secure knowing that we have this new company and that people are very, very pleased with the service and the high-speed internet. So obviously, with a new company like this, there'll be a few wrinkles to iron out as we move forward, but for the most part, it's given high marks by Long Plain people. And our goal would be to actually expand, to actually provide a service outside of Long Plain First Nation, possibly neighboring reserves, definitely working to move the Meeches network system into our Kishkimaquah Reserve in the adjacent to the city of Portersville Prairie. So the opportunities are endless. We encourage First Nation governments, First Nation companies to look at this as a viable alternative, a viable solution to your Wi-Fi needs. Obviously, the province is doing one thing, but I'm still fairly certain that with the economic joint ventures, that I think First Nation governments and companies would find that this would be a great alternative. We're not sure where the province will go with what they proposed a few weeks ago in their media release, but we encourage our Indigenous governments and companies and partnerships to take a serious look at Meeches networks and to see what it has to offer. Obviously, for us, employment, job creation, revenue streams are so important. With the Arrowhead Development Corporation, we have a very dynamic company. We're into a lot of different business sectors, and we're continuing to grow our economic activity. And this includes broadband and Wi-Fi. Currently we have a hotel, building our second hotel. We have gas bars, we have gaming centers, cannabis shops. Obviously, there's challenges with those too, but I think with hard work and being able to understand who you are as Indigenous people, understand your relationship with the Crown, with Canada, and to be able to move forward. And economic reconciliation is so important. Indigenomics is so important that, working hand in hand with one another. A strong Indigenous community that has strong economic sector like Long Plain benefits cities like Portersville Prairie, Winnipeg. So who can argue against economic development for Indigenous communities? We've been at the low end of the spectrum for so long, and we are now finally regaining our foundation when it comes to economic development, financial development, land repatriation, but there's so much more work to do. So with that, I want to turn it over to our partner, CISO. He's been quite energetic, quite excited about this file. And man, I'm really excited with this technology because, again, it's getting great reviews at Long Plain. And, sometimes Long Plain, the people, they're tough customers. So, and they like what they see. So that's a good thing for council. Big watch. CISO, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chief Dennis. It was a pleasure to have you introduce me with such great words. And it's a really great honor for me to be invited to talk to this conference. Meeches Networks is committed to connecting everyone everywhere. And we have developed a technology here in Canada, in Calgary, Alberta, that allows us to provide these very high-speed internet services to communities that are normally deemed to be underserved or unserved because it's economically too expensive to do to connect them. But we have developed a new technology that has the capability of connecting everyone and doing so at a very high performance level. So Meeches in its services and Arrowhead, the internet services as a partner of Meeches, offers the guaranteed streaming bandwidth and guaranteed minimum bandwidth, which means that even if everyone on reserve is on at the same time, you will be able to at least have one Zoom session and one Netflix session at the same time. And that is a guarantee that I do not believe any other vendors will provide. Next slide, please. So we are enabling connectivity via high-performing networks. The idea is to solve a problem of physics, of distance, of poor signal quality, of poorly performing towers, or of fiber optics that cost way too much to cover the area of ground needed to connect everyone. And how have we done that? So next slide, please. Where we've developed a wireless technology that is well known. It's called mesh networks. However, it was never done really as well as we do it, or as easily or seamlessly as we do it. So we incorporate a number of novel ideas, including the most powerful one is our data pipeline concept. So with the data pipeline concept, we're able to do a mesh network that has very high performance at the same time as it overcomes obstacles and reaches very long distances. The data pipelines we have today are capable of doing 1 gigabit per second each. So in the case of Long Plain, the design currently requires 4 data pipelines. So that means that into Long Plain, we can put in 4 gigabit per second. However, should the demand increase beyond that, because of our partner, the Hutterite Broadband Network, have fiber going around the Long Plain Reserve, we can actually start adding capacity into the network in the future if we need it. So this is a network and a concept that's future-proof, not expensive to deploy, and very high performance from day one. Next slide, please. The reason we were able to do that is we developed a technology that is very simple to deploy. The network does not require towers, although when in some cases we will use towers if they're available, but we do not require them, which means that the installation process is fairly easy. And you've seen a picture earlier in the slide presentation of an installer on top of a roof. We can go from home to home. We can plant some poles. We can go on power poles. All of these methods are available and allow us to deploy the network very rapidly. Because of the simplicity of our user interface and the firmware, we can train installers in a matter of weeks, and they're out there deploying the network already. So our team in Long Plain consists of people from Long Plain who have come in. They had some skill as, craftsmen, but they were trained on how to deploy a network, and they will continue to learn more about the tricks of networking and installation, as well as some wireless technology. So we will leave behind a trained team that can continue maintaining and deploying the network in the future. The technology behind this consists of a lot of very high-tech things, including neural networks and geoinformation system, as well as very deep understanding of radio frequency performance and wireless performance to give us all this capability at the end of the day. Next slide, please. This is a map that shows the Long Plain Reserve, and it shows the areas that are connected today, which are the green areas. And as we start to build out, all the areas cover wherever there's a home in the Long Plain Reserve, it's covered by these areas. So the gaps that you can see there means that there's no one living there. So every single person on reserve will be able to be connected through this network. We've done the green part, we're working on the blue, as we speak. Probably by the time the presentation is given, the light blue area will be connected, as well as the dark blue area. And we would be working on the orange and red areas, and then the rest of the network. We've targeted the areas where there's more people first, so we get the service as high as possible very quickly, and then the other outlying areas will be connected also very rapidly. So far, we have 16% of the customers connected. Next slide, please. So I want to thank you. I hope we've offered you enough to grab your interest. If you have questions about the joint venture, please talk to Terry Myron at terry@arrowheadinternet.com. Or for partnership inquiries, should you be interested in developing a similar process in your area, please contact me, El-Hamamsy, at ciso@meeches-networks.com. Thank you very much. It's been truly an honor to speak to you here today. Thank you.
In closing, I just also want to thank you all for the opportunity to present today. And I do want to acknowledge our partners, CISO and Meeches Network. Thank you very much for being a partner with Long Plain. I'm very, very certain we're going to have a great relationship. And a shout out to How to Write Broadband Network. Thank you also too for working with Long Plain. When they first approached us a few years ago, we basically said, yes, we'll need to tap into your fiber optic though. And I didn't think at that time that we'd actually be here today rolling out our own, Arrowhead Internet Services Wi-Fi network. So things, I think happen for a reason, and I'm really, really thankful that we're able to pull this off with Meeches Networks. So we'll be around for questions. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions. I do want to thank our team, Kat at Meeches Networks and Terry at Arrowhead. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saeed and Chief Dennis Meeches. Now we have more sponsor videos for you.